Hey guys and gals, and welcome back to the Phantom Cast, and welcome back to our quick review videos. Today we're going to be going over the Peloton 200 from Kuiu. Alright, before we dive on into this guy, like always, going to be as transparent as possible with you guys, which is pretty well 100% when it comes to these reviews. So, what is my relationship with Kuiu? There isn't any. I'm not paid, not sponsored in any way. I haven't asked for a discount, kickbacks, nothing like that, nothing special for the review of this video. This is my personal opinion of using this garment for the number of years that I've had it. All right, with that out of the way, let's dive on into the why you're watching the video. So like I said, this is a Peloton 200 from Kuiu. And to be honest with you, it's been a fantastic mid-layer. I have basically nothing negative to report on it. Okay, so what is the Peloton 200? There's a few different weights, I guess is what you could say, and thickness of levels of warmth that you're looking for. They have a Peloton 100 or 120. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I've looked at the website. You have a Peloton 200, and then so on and so forth. You know, you have the 240 jacket. You have the 260, you have the 280, you know, those are more your heavier type, outer soft waffle jackets, right? This is intended in that 200 weight realm, right? And it is synthetic. It is not merino wool. The Peloton series is all synthetic. So this is kind of it can be used as an outer layer, which I've used it a ton as, in like your 40-ish degree weather, your 50-ish degree weather. Once you start getting down to like the 30 degrees, then I definitely want to throw a vest on top of it. If it's 30 degrees and sunny and not anything crazy, or even, you know, your high 20s and I'm up and being pretty active, putting in stocks or moving and glassing versus just sitting and staying in one spot, this thing has been fantastic for that. Now, if I'm going to be sitting down and slowing down, then I'm going to want to have something over top of this, you know, such as the Peloton 240, which is one of my favorite jackets, or just throwing a vest on over top. Seems to do great. Okay, so the durability of this guy. I've had this for a number of years now. This will be year 4 running it, actually. I bought this guy in 2021, didn't run it in 2021, had an injury and was basically laid up all fall, minus a few couple day hunts and all that stuff, until December. And that was cold. That was like single digits, teens type temperatures as highs. That was cold. And I used this as mid layer and it did fantastic. Like it honestly did great. So the back here, how's the durability? So I've got some strings here. So there's a string here, some other strings here that are just kind of coming out from getting snagged on, you know, sagebrush, pine trees, rocks, what have you, those sticker bushes. And that's what I'm using this as, an outer layer. So only having those few on the arms and looking all the way down the back here, I'm not seeing anything like that. Or on the hood. Flip it over to the front. Pretty much the same. There's a little prick here with a little bit of a frilly there. A little frilly here as well. If I could grab it. Arms look to be in good shape. Under the arm is in good shape. Overall, this thing, like I said, this garment has been awesome. It's been great. It's a great mid layer for when things start to get cold and you want something else on top of it. This thing's been great. It's synthetic. It dries fast. It wicks very well. I've paired it primarily under what I've worn underneath. This has been a merino wool base layer, such as been that Kuiu tee that I have. I just recently got a Stone Glacier one, so that's primarily what's been on underneath this. There's been some other layers, like I have a synthetic skin tight layer that has the silver lining in it. I've worn that under this when I was on that elk hunt in December. That was in single digits. It was kind of the highs. And this thing's been great. has that mid layer, that extra warmth. So the only issues that I've kind of ran into is when it does start to get like in 60 degrees, you know, and this is a heavier mid layer. So once you start getting in 60, 70 degrees and you start walking around, it's pretty warm, it's pretty hot. And quite honestly, I don't really wear it in that type of weather. Unless I'm glassing, I'm in the shade and things can kind of get kind of chill. There's a slight breeze and I'll just throw this on then while I'm sitting and it's fine. But anything above 50 degrees, I think this guy really starts to cook you. Not a negative towards this at all. Just letting you guys know. Zipper's been fine. I've learned that all the Kuiu's main zippers have been fine. It looks like the same similar size that are on the pockets and stuff like that I've had fail, or even the heat vents on the armpits and another garment. But I haven't had any issues with the main zippers for them. It's been great. Oh, the hood. I'll touch on the hood real quick. I know I have a weird thing. I like my garments having hoods. So just about literally everything that I have, minus maybe one item, now has a hood. And I've been asked before if it starts to bother me, especially when you start stacking hoods. With these, no. The fitment's been great. You wearing a hat or not wearing a hat, I typically wear a hat when I'm hunting. When you put the hood on, the hood actually conforms rather well to the head and the hat. So when you go to put on the next hood, it does the same thing. Haven't had any issues with that. It fits fine and it moves with my head as well, which has been great. So I haven't had any issues with that being a hood mid layer. Keeps the ears warm, keep the ears free. I don't like beanies that kind of push down on my ears. I know I'm weird, but that works out great. So as far as windproof, it's not windproof. It's not. So if the wind does pick up and it's cold, you're gonna wanna throw some type of wind shell on over top of it or a vest and to kind of block that wind. But by itself, standalone, it's not windproof at all. So just keep that in mind. It is truly a mid layer and it can be worn as an outer layer in those milder temps. So wet, rain, the water does beat off fairly well on it. You can get soaked in this thing if you obviously don't try to cover it up. But if you're smart and you got a different shell to put on over top of it, rain jacket or something else to keep this protected, that's definitely a good idea. It does dry extremely fast, but it's not waterproof. It's fairly water resistant, but definitely not waterproof. Smell. Okay, on backpack trips wearing this, I've actually been impressed with the treatment that Kuiu uses on their garments. I haven't had issues with smell with this guy. And I've mentioned this a number of times. I don't like washing my hunting gear, so if I can get away with not doing it, then I do. Because I couldn't tell you the last time I washed this guy. It might have been last year after my last backpack hunt. Maybe. But smell's been good. The treatment that they have on this has been good. So I haven't had that issue. Okay. So at the end of the day, if you guys are looking for a good mid layer that's not ridiculously heavy, something that'll keep you warm in kind of those moderate temps as an outer layer, and then something good for when it is colder as that mid layer, the Peloton 200 is going to do very well for you. And honestly, I think, yeah, highly recommend it. You'd be very happy with it. So, all right, guys. Not going to keep you for too long, so I'll leave you with this as always. Be smart, be safe, be wise, and happy hunting.